Oh, the elves are in there. Oh, jeez. Hi, this is Told Welcome today. We're updating Learn from the Land. I don't know if I could do this the way I normally do it. If you see my other previous free-to-play decks, normally I'll take all the cards that... Sorry, I was thinking. Normally I take all the cards that we're getting out and I one-for-one them, but these are all the cards we're getting rid of. Get your commons, get your uncommon wild cards ready, baby. Ooh, dang. Is this 25 lander? No, 24. So what's that? 23 cards. So let's see what I did. Mossborn Hydra, Elves, the Rampaging Baloths, the Bounty, the Bouncers are really nice. I really like this deck because when playing against it on a ladder, I almost lost the game to it with its base form, and the tempo that you get from these guys is really good. It has really good tempo in the deck. Ambush Wolf wasn't in there, but we're gonna do that one there. This is all Edge of Eternities, baby. So much Edge of Eternities. Not E, not E. So these are the cards that we're keeping. The numbers are adjusted, right? 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And 24 lands. That's 35. And I think we went down 1 to Chatiova, right? There was 2 in the original deck. I think there was 3 elves too. So somehow we lost some cards, gained some cards. But the thing I like about this deck is the big bouncer, right? So the tempo plays. So to increase that tempo-ish, is we're going with some bounce off. Now I don't know if there's like some 2 mana return to hand. Mana value 2 return hand. When it's turned face up, that doesn't count. Downport Mage is pretty cool. Oh, and we want budget. This a budget, baby. Fear of Isolation is your own creature. No, I mean there's spells, but I'm not looking for spells. I'm just talking about creatures. So nothing in the 2-drop slot, but definitely Bounce Off is the best one. Obviously Unsummon's pretty cool, but Bounce Off hits vehicles as well. So why not play Bounce Off? Type of situation. Then there's a couple things, right? Like, I'm not a big fan of Llanowar Elves, but people love it. So number 2 theme of this deck is the go wide strategy, right? Rampaging Baloths, Primeval Bounty, the 6 drops that are about going wide. So we're gonna, improve upon that with the cards that we removed. Got rid of all those crap cards, and we're going with the Eusocial Engineering. We got Evolving Wilds. We got the Evolving Wilds Escape Tunnel package of the Landfall deck because Baloths cares about landfall. Primeval Bounty cares about lands. You gain 3 life when you have a land enter. So this Escape Tunnel is 6 life. That's pretty great. Right? I mean, obviously you need to stay alive to get to 6 mana, the Godmaw's landfall, the Agrarian is landfall. Maybe that's it. So we got something like go wide strategies. We got 2 Biomechan Engineers in there. It's a 2/2. It makes a lander token so we can get our 3rd land if we only have 2 mana. And then if we have 8 mana, you can draw 2 cards and create 2 2/2s. Which is really great because you also have, Chatiova. It's a 5 mana spell. Whenever you play land, you gain a life, draw a card. You might say, why not put more of this in there? But the curve is just really weird with her, and it's not that great. Since these care about landfall, why not throw some landfall creatures in there? So we got the Seedship Agrarian. It gets +1/+1 counters whenever a land enters, and whenever you tap it, it makes lander tokens. So just a way to ramp up. And then obviously the Godmaw is our finisher. It's probably even better than the Baloths and the Bounties, but it is 7 mana. but it's a 6/6. Whenever land enters, all your creatures get +1/+1 in vigilance. It doesn't give them trample, but yeah, you know, what are you gonna do? But it does give them, you know, vigilance. They get N+1 counters. They attack in. So if you get these lands, you know, the wilds and the escape tunnels, you know, that's 2/2. You know, +2/+2, right? And the Agrarian makes, you know, land or tokens when it gets tapped. The Scrapbot makes a land or token, and then the Pit Offering is kind of our graveyard removal. So the Scrapbot is our graveyard removal. So you might end up holding this in your hand if you get it against graveyard deck, and then same thing with the Pit Offering. You might end up holding that in your hand to use it for graveyard removal, and then the Ambush Wolf for graveyard removal as well. It's also a flashy creature. You can just surprise, but you get the exile a card from the graveyard. And Cease and Desist is another graveyard hate. So, you know, these beginner decks, you don't know what you're going to face, right? So you need to have all your bases covered. And maybe we have a little bit too much removal for graveyards. Because we also have a Soul Guide Lantern in there, which you can exile graveyards, or you draw a card. Cease and Desist also doubles as a enchantments and artifacts destroyers. Just be careful that, you know, if you're going to lose your Eusocial Engineering, you're going to lose your Primeval Bounty if you cast that type of deal. Galactic Wayfarer is just another lander token maker. It's a 3/3. You know, just a way to get more ramp going on. You know, so we're ramping, and then we're pushing the opponent's. You know, we're tempoing out the opponent by returning their big casting costs, right? They spend something, you know, like, I mean, this is still spending 4 mana to return something in their hand, but hopefully, ideally, we're attacking in as well. That's kind of the idea. We got card draw, stock up card draw. Really great, probably the best. It's uncommon. Look at 5 cards, take 2. Pretty good. Divert Disaster, another, like, it's a counter spell, make them pay 2, just good for the early game. And then late game, you know, you could catch them on something, but also, you know, makes a lander token. So if they do have the mana, you know, they have better mana than you get a lander token out of it, and then you have all these landfall payoffs, right? So it's never a dead card, it's just 2 mana to get a lander token and to tax your opponent. Germinating Wurm gives you some life gain. Close encounters, you can use the Germinating Wurm or cards in Warped, and it's just, you know, your kill spell. And then Heritage Reclamation, more exile for the graveyard, destroy artifacts and enchantments, right? That's the name of the game. That's how you win games in today's standard. So, you know, that's the deck. You know, you have a Temple of Mystery, comes with that. We got 1 Thornwood Falls in there, and then the Escape Tunnels, and 1 Pit Offering for that graveyard. So, yeah, let's go pilot this bad boy.
Engage.
While it is like big changes to the deck, I think it still holds the kind of the idea behind the deck, right? And, you know, this can also bounce, you know, the opponent's Hydra, right? Tempo them out. Buy us the time that we need to get to the end game. To, you know, get our 5 and 6 drops, right? Bounce off, bounce off. They're looking for another land. I'm just gonna pass. We're not doing anything next turn, right? So maybe they play another spell that's not as cool as Servandum. Whatever, no creature don't dies. I think we're still putting that back in their hand. I think we go green. Yeah, we want green. And this one, we might take this 2 damage. I think I'm fine taking it. I really want to get more value. And I think we're scrapbotting here. Pitless Offering will eat our bounce off for blue mana. And I think we're just scrapbotting. So we're at 4. We'll be at 5 mana in a second. Hopefully we draw land. No attacks. That is a great land to draw. I think we just stock up here, actually. Right? Bouncers? Land? It's pretty good. I like this. Servandum, not attacking. I mean, I need to pressure them, right? No attacks. I mean, Servandum has Menace. They must have missed that. And it has Vigilance, so it should just be attacking every single turn. That's a mistake on the opponent's turn. Okay. That's not good. So here, I think we really want to tempo them out. Or maybe we should have went with the land thing, but three, 4, 5, 6. So we've officially, I mean, sure, they were screwed on mana a little bit. Or a lot. We didn't pop any lander token. You're killing that creature? Oh, because it's tapped. Okay. Alright. Draw a card. I think we still want blue, right? I have 3 blue sources. No attacks. 4, 5, 6, 7. Like, we're doing really good. We just need like another creature, you know? Tempo, tempo. Why would you tap that blue? Why would you tap all my blue sources? Galactic Wayfarer? Biomechan? I think we just tempo them, right? They could sweeper though. Destroy an enchantment? He's pretty good. We'll put it here. Oh, he gets multiple counters? What? Attack in. Oh, I used my unsummon already. I think we'll just pass and pop this lander token. I don't want to, like deadly cover up range if they get a land. Okay. They still can't attack. I need more spells in the deck. Return target creature. I got more blue, apparently. Need more blue. I need more spells. Okay. Make another creature. Wish I had more spells. Gain a life. Biomechan Engineer. This is like endless value. Okay, I'm just worried about the deadly cover-up. Like, we're attacking for... I mean, I should have put the counters. Well, I guess they would have killed Tetiova. Or taken that. So I guess that was a good play to not put it on this one. Because this one's already a target. So put in the counters on this dude. And then, if we destroy this some way... Wish I had a little bit more... Oh, I used up all my stock ups and bounce off. I thought I had a second bounce off. Huh. Oh, I did. Yeah. To go first, I think we hold the lantern. You don't always want to put it out unless you're like gonna draw a card. Like if you need it for land to draw a card, but since we have 3 lands in the play, we don't need it. Landfall. But if we don't draw a land this turn, and if they're not playing red or black, if they're playing white or blue or green, we don't need I mean, it could be good against landfall as well. Okay, this is a Eugene deck. So I think we go with the card draw. I mean, I just assume it is, right? Could be anything. Maybe that was a little presumptuous. Maybe I should have played the Germinating Wurm and just gained the life. Okay, this is some weird ass combo deck. They're gonna get hexproof on their creatures, so but we need the enchantment removal. We're gonna have to escape tunnel next turn, unfortunately. It's not fast enough. So they are landfall? They just suck at it? I mean, you gain 4 life. What can I do? Can't target you. Fetch land, they go to 2, 4. If they have some way to pump it. We're gonna need more lands. But we got Germinating Wurm next turn. Can we kill him in time? That's the question. Depends on how many lands they have. That's not looking good. I'm gonna Baloths next turn and then Godmaw the turn after that, but it might be too slow. If they have an Ouroboros, that land comes into play tapped. They're gonna make it 2/1/1. Yeah, that's 8/8 Hydra. This is gonna get bigger. We need our unsummoned stuff. I think that's a good trade. They'd have, I mean, they could take the 1/1, I guess, yeah. This gives trample. It doesn't give trample. Where's our fetch lands? We only got 1. I don't know if we're winning this. We need a unsummon. Reset that Hydra. It goes up to 10. It's gonna be a 10/10. Bigger than the Godmaw. Yep. Wow. We're dead. 2020 Hydra. Blue green. I mean, I didn't get any bounce spells, so I had the 1 bounce. That's it. And what are you gonna do? And they started off with 2 Adventurer's Inns. And yeah, just take 20, bro. The elf is late too. Like, if the elf was here, we could have Godmawed. Like, if I had the elf out. It's just 1 turn too late on the elf. That's why I don't like the elves. You draw them late in the game. They're in the wrong time, right? They're in bad spots. What's going on? At 22. So I can attack with the Baloths, and they have to block with the Warden. They're gonna have a 20. I mean, they probably just have a land. What if we do? So 10. This dies next turn. 10. You could make another guy. I mean, I think I'm just dead. It's 10. Thinking 11. If they have a land in their hand, they win. How about that? We'll just pass. They had a 10-10 Hydra. Play a land and I'll scoop. Why don't you just play the land, dude? All you had to do was play the land. Hexproof? No, I didn't have fun. Hexproof Hydras. No one's playing this. That's great. Start with the Scry land. We definitely want more land. So we want to hold the wilds for the Hydra. I think we just worm here. Gain some life. So that means the Hydra's gonna be dead. They were playing black. They definitely have a removal spell. They're just Reanimator. Let's I don't know. Okay. We don't have anything to do. I mean, against Reanimator, we're pretty good, right? We're well positioned against Reanimator. So they reanimate, right? So they reanimate that guy, and we just bounce it right back to their hand, right? Yep. Okay. They should be playing Bitter Triumph, but who am I? If you're a Reanimator? Maybe you're not Reanimator. I don't know. Now the Baloths, it'd be nice to get a 7th land. Like that. No, we're gonna take this. Take this. Take that. I don't need no Hydras. Looking good. Maybe they're looking for white. I don't know, they're doing weird stuff. At the beginning and instead of investigate, I've lost life this turn. Well, I haven't lost life this turn. And gain life. Okay. My turn. Tempo out. We had the bounce off as well. But I think we're just going to stock up though. Maybe stock up first. Yeah, I mean, we're hitting them for, put them down to 7. and they're just dead next turn. They have to play like 2 creatures if this was their only play. So they play Teysa, and then we just bounce it back to their hand, and this is 7 damage, right? 5 and 7 is 12. So I hope that shows how to play the deck a little bit. Try to be thoughtful in explaining, the things you go. And you could see like that, sometimes you just don't draw the stuff, right? Like in the Hydra deck, we didn't draw artifact removal. They tricked us by playing 2 colorless lands. We only had, the Elusive Mage, and possibly we should have mulliganed, I guess, that hand, but I think we had the land, so it was like, maybe I just need to be more patient. And you really want to get the value for this. You don't want to pay 2 mana or 3 mana for a 2/2. You really want to pay 3 mana to return a creature to your opponent's hand. So if they don't have any creatures on play, you probably just need to hold these because they're way overpriced. Unless you're like, that's how you get your value back, right? Like this one, how much should a 3/2 cost, right? Power and toughness equals 2, right? And we'll look in blue and green, right? So 2 mana, 3 mana, 3 mana, right? This one, 2 mana, 2 mana. In green, it's 2 mana, right? 2 to 3 mana, right? So this is 2 mana, so you need to return at least a creature that costs 2 to break even. And if you can return something better than that, it's even better. And then for the mage, for a 2/2, 2 mana. Blue sucks. Look at this, 1 mana, right? So this is, you also want to return a 2 mana creature or better, right? Is to break even, because it should cost you 1. So just be aware of that, just a few things. And then, like we did the right thing against the Hydra guy. Even though they were playing the landfall deck, and they could have been sacrificing lands and bringing lands back, they possibly could be in their deck. But at the beginning, I thought it was the mono green Ugin deck, or even I could have been any color, I guess. But usually they play those life gain lands to try to, not lose to aggro type of situation. So, just be aware you have your, few bits of removal for the graveyard, and I think I don't know if that's what won us the last game. Where we ate that. That guy was looking to get that guy from his graveyard. He should be playing Bitter Triumph if you're playing Reanimation. You want to be able to murder someone's guy and then, discard a card, right? And then that's even getting even better, right? You should get familiar with this card because once Spider-Man comes out, the Mayhem cards. So you pay 2. Mayhem, a creature, and then you pay 1 or 2 to bring that Mayhem card into the battlefield. You kill their opponent's creatures, and you get a discount on, basically, like probably free or something. This is probably a free kill spell. It's going to be really great with Mayhem. Looking forward to Spider-Man. But, yeah, this is my Learn from the Lands deck. Just, shorter little video, just kind of showing you how to play. And, I don't know, we could look at this. Rarity is uncommon. Obviously you don't have to do exactly what I did. So if you don't have all the uncommons, you could substitute somewhere. But I would be wary of these are Soul Lantern. You should probably have that if you're playing any type of budget deck. And Pit Offering is okay. So I would say you don't need to do Pit Offering. Close Encounter is just a good card, just because once you get the worm into the warp, then it's actually like a 5 mana damage spell for 2 mana, which is really good, right? So that just pairs really well. So I would say that's pretty good. Biomech, you could probably just do one of those. Eusocial Engineering, if you don't put that in the deck, yeah, I think you want that. Like I would say, definite must craft. Cease and Desist is just good for everything. It's hard to say not to craft that. I would say these are pretty good. Biomechan Engineer, you could get away from it. Maybe there's other better 2-drops that we could have, in the situation. But yeah, I would say like if you're low on uncommons, I only have 8 left. This is like, that's 8 right there. So this is my total. Like and subscribe. See you guys next time.
Do.